Hi. So I have a recording I've been working on for over a month now, and I come up with a way that you can hear spirit talking in it a whole lot better. The original recording, I'll play just a moment of it. It doesn't sound like there's anybody there. Let me play just a second here. Did it late at night. Nobody around. All right. So I found if I actually process this recording in two different ways and then mix it back together, that's when you're going to hear spirit talking. So this here is the same recording. It's slowed down. I want to play it at 50% speed on the controls. Have a listen. This is who I picked up. So let me show you how to do it. Here's the original recording. Now what I've been learning is, as it processes through WavePad, if I was to process it all in the forward position, it's going to look different than if I did it all in the reverse position. So let me just click redo just for a second so you can see something. Here is the file that I processed in the forward position. Here's what it looks like in the reverse position, or if I do a mirrored opposite of it. So I'll just click back and forth. You can see the differences in there, right? And if I merge them back together, it just sounds a whole lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this off. I'll show you something really quick. Go to the audio tab, off the options. You can put this on your custom menu. You can get it off tools options, just add it to it. But on here, I'm using this setting for the sound play device. And then in here, before you do every step, I put in 2 periods. Only last until you hit the enter key or your left mouse clicker. So you can bring up the tools with the keyboard shortcut. Just come in here, click add. It'll ask you what combination you want to do. Select the ones you want. There isn't a whole lot of keyboard shortcuts that you're going to need here because it's pretty easy. All right. So what I'll do is go back here, put those 2 periods in, and then I'm going to use a keyboard shortcut Control D to duplicate it off here. All right. Let me just undo it so we start just like it was recorded. Okay, now I need 2 of them that are identical. So I'm going to use this one I just created, and I'm going to use another one. Okay, so this first one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse it. And this gets a little confusing when you're working with it. You got to just kind of keep track of it. Now, the red line here is the cursor. I always want to keep it at the back end of the file when I do this. So right now it's at the front end, but I'm going to reverse this file. So there it is. I reversed it really quick. Cursor sitting at the left. And the first thing I want to do to this, I'm going to do the exact same steps on both of them, except they're going to be mirrored opposites. So I'm going to do the pitch, and I'm going to go in here. I brought up the pitch change, and I'm going to make this 12 semitones or 200% basically, and apply it. Now it's sitting in the reverse position right now, doing this, and then I'm going to flip it around. So I'll bring up the options, keyboard shortcut to reverse the file. All right. Now I'm going to kick the cursor all the way to the right, so it's sitting at the end of the file. It's back in the forward position, and I'm going to bring up the pitch change again. This time I'm going to make it 24 semitones or 400% pitch change. And then I got to reverse the file. I'm going to use a WavePad tool that slows both speed and pitch at the same time. So I'll put the options, reverse the file, kick the cursor all the way to the left, and then I'll bring up the speed pitch change. And there it is. And the first setting I'm going to use, while this is in the reverse, only on this first file, is speed pitch percentage 88.4, and I'll apply it. And you can see if I undo really quick, we started with a minute 21. It's going to slow that down. Now it's a minute 32. All right. Now I need to spin it back around to the forward position. All right. Kick the cursor all the way to the right, because I'm going to slow it down again. And this one I'm going to do at 76.8. And basically what I'm doing is I'm doing kind of the same steps back and forth to try to keep this wave as straight as possible. Now I need to reverse the file again. I'm going to kick the cursor all the way to the left when I reverse it, so I may as well just do it right now. So do the options. I'll reverse it back to the reverse position. All right. Now I'm going to bring up the equalizer. And this is what I found that when I elevate the wave in certain places, it works the best. If I start with 550 and I subtract 314, I'll make this 236. Now this is using their parametric equalizer tool, where you can adjust not only the frequency in hertz right here that I'm going to work with, but also the width of it. Okay. So the first one is 314 less than 550. If you just start with 550 hertz and do the rest of this, it works out really good. The spacing is different than what you were. It's just different. All right. So on the plus side of 550, you want to add 314 to each one. So just keep incrementing up as you do that. Make the whole bottom 7 each. And the first one is 7 that worked on this recording. You're probably going to have to adjust on your own recording. The second one at the 550 was at 15 decibels. The third one I did 6 all the way until I got out to the 330 or 3,376 hertz. All right, and then I dropped it down to 3, and then the rest of them I just left 0. That worked out really good for this recording. Okay. Now you can save it, and I actually saved it as a setup in there, and it'll remember the last thing that was up on the screen here. So all I have to do is do the options, put in the periods, open this up, and apply it. All right. So I'll do that. Open it up, apply it. And now I need to spin it back around to forward position. Do the options, it's in forward. And we'll elevate it that way. Now that's the way you do it on the forward one. This one here, you're gonna actually, when we started off on the other one, we started it in reverse. This one we're gonna do in the forward. So we'll kick the cursor all the way to the right, mirrored opposites. And we're gonna change the pitch to 12 semitones or 200%. Then we'll reverse it. Kick the cursor to the left. This is where I change the pitch to 24 or 400%. You get mixed up every once in a while doing this, but just backtrack and start over. So I'm back to the forward position. I'm going to kick the cursor to the right, and I'm going to make the speed pitch change. I'm going to put in 88.4. Then I'm going to kick the cursor all the way to the left and reverse the file, or actually put it in reverse. Make that second speed pitch change. .8, and then kick the cursor to the right, reverse the file back to the forward position. Now I'll do the equalizer, why it's in the forward position. Reverse the file. Kick the cursor to the left, make that last equalizer change. And at the end of this one, I'm just going to keep the cursor to the left, but I'm going to reverse the file back to the forward position. Alright, so you saw me process both of them. I got to put the cursor to the left here. Look at the differences between the two. Alright, so when they process differently. And then what I've been doing was I would just duplicate this off that first one we did. And then the second one, right click, copy, go here, and we're going to mix those two together. So use the paste mix, 100%. Voila. And then make sure you play this on the slow controls. You can play it on the fast controls, or it's not fast, it's actually normal controls, normal speed. It just sounds so hurried and it's hard to make out. It's easier for me to... Alright, so give it a try on one of your recordings, see how it sounds. I keep testing and share whatever I find. Thanks for listening.